Africa and around the world. This is Smart Mado Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN. How are you doing today? Bright, sunny day here. Yes, windy, a little bit windy and cold. Just not cold, not the New York type of cold, not the Illinois cold. Just regular Texas cold that people from New York, and Illinois and Colorado and all the other places will look like this is a great summer day here, in their area. But here, you see how I'm dressed now. We say it's good, but it's not actually good. If you have been to Rhode Island and other places, you will understand what I'm talking about. Or those in Europe will even understand it better. Yes, I hope you guys are doing well. So we are doing a follow up of on the developments in Nigeria and breaking news. You see the man here, uh, the man right here, Ahmad Gumi, is on the run. One of the big terrorists, masterminds of terrorism in Nigeria. He's right now on the run. We hear he is in Turkey right now. He has run to Turkey. Look at his ugly face. Yes, one of those sponsoring those who are massacring Nigerians across cultures and across religions. He is no good. One down, many more to go. Yes, and my brother, our friend, great friend, Dr. SKC Ogbonia, came up with another beautiful article. He's a good writer, prolific writer. So you cannot avoid reading his article and expanding it so people can, see it and, you know, drive the message and take it further to the people. And what he said here, the title of his article is The Trump Ultimatum: Why the Guilty Are Afraid, by SKC Ogbonna. Houston, Texas, United States of America, published on the 11th day of November 2025. Yes, but before I read this article, I am going to show you something that happened in Nigeria between the rogue federal capital territory minister, Yeso Wike, and a thief too, who stole a lot of money from the people of River State to acquire a huge mansion here in Florida State of the United States of America. Well, an investigation is going on. I hope in no distant time he will be arrested and then brought here to face justice for money laundering. America don't play. All right, so I'm going to show you something, an exchange between him and a young military officer. I loved what that young man did, even though the soldiers too, when they are out there, they are beasts to civilians because they are not well trained. But soldiers in America, they are the best behaved type of citizens. They are the best behaved citizens. They don't go out on the street acting crazy because they know that when they put their hands on anybody, they're going to go to jail. And their own jail time is going to even be worse because they were trained to be disciplined, to be responsible to the ordinary people on the streets. But that's not the same thing with Nigeria. The ones in Nigeria, they are trained like animals. Yes, they have no respect for anybody. They will pick up an old man, a small rat who has no rank in the army. We give an old man a frog jump, beat up professors, beat up doctors. People are scared of them like they are God on themselves. But this is a different scenario right now. The young man, I don't know what happened. The whole thing was not clearly stated, but I'm going to play it for you to see, so you understand where I am going with this. Yes, so that is where it is. There was an exchange between him and Yeso Wike. He was cool, calm, and calculated. Yes, Wike was raging, cursing him, and his um, uh, usual disrespectful demeanor exhibited that animal that called Yeson Wike. So I'm going to show you this so you guys watch and see it. I don't know if they're even seeing it. Everything was applied legally. Will you stop that? I'm an officer, I have integrity. Shut up, you're not good officer. Will you get that? Sir, I won't shut up. I was in school, you're not in school. Sir, you can't shut up. Will you keep quiet? Give me a big food. I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool, sir. Sir, I'm not a fool. I am not a fool, sir. As of the time I graduated, you were primary school. I'm acting on order. For which order? You see whether you love it. Sir, you can't call me a fool. I'm not a fool, sir. You would have killed everybody here. No, we are not killing anybody. We won't kill anybody, sir. We're acting on order. Go and develop the electricity. We are going to get out. I'm going to play this for you guys. I know you did not see it the way I would want you to see. So what is going to happen is, let me see what can be for you so you can see. Just trying to see what I can do. Can be done to bring it. I would love you guys to see it. Yes, that is a Gumi. That is a Ahmad Gumi. Right there. Hello. Hey, how are you? Brenda, how you doing? Good, good. Yes, that's he's on the run right now. Gumi, he has escaped to Turkey. Yes. Donald Trump has not even deployed. All of them are running helter-skelter. They are all running right now. Yeah, there's a catastrophe in the enemy's camp in Nigeria. Yes. He is on the run. He is on the run. Yes. Just give me a second. I'm going to come right back. That disruption. Sorry. Yes. Yes, I'm back. I'm back. Yes, this is Gumi, Ahmad Gumi. All right. now we don't clearly understand his reason for fleeing, but I know that it's not unconnected with the riot acts that President Donald Trump of the United States sent to the Nigerian corrupt and morally bankrupt political leaders led by a thief, certificate forger, identity thief. Yes, called Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes, so Nigeria is rumbling. Nigeria is rumbling. Nigeria is rumbling. So, and let me see. I want to play this for you guys. So you can see. All right, let's see. We're acting on orders. Go and develop the electricity. Regular outside. What's going on? We are going to get out. Director press. You see how Nigerians are led like little children? Wike is a headmaster. I remember in those days when I was in elementary school, the way my school headmaster would behave. That is exactly how Nigerian politicians behave. They have no respect for anybody, absolutely no respect for anybody. They think they are gods that the people should worship. All right? But they are not. They are pieces of shit, thieves, criminals, rogues, robbers, terrorists, bandits. That's what they are. That's what they are. And I responded because somebody sent this to one of the platforms that I administer. And then my response was this a song from Peter Tosh called Magadog. So I'm going to play that song for you guys so you know what I'm talking about. Yes, it was Magadog. Uh, yes, on Wiki is a Magadog. It's not a human being. But that young military officer, the other military officers somewhere else will be telling him, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, and not from what I gathered from what took place there, it was like the chief of naval staff illegally acquired a land in the Federal Capital Territory And that because they are lawless, they think when they are on that uniform, in their uniform, nobody can talk to them, nobody can do anything. They go and do whatever. And that's how they abuse our people. That's how young soldiers will go into the villages, shoot up people, beat the old men up, beat people up. High profile citizens of Nigeria are beaten up by stupid little boys in the army that have no rank. Yes, some of them don't know that some of us have been through this. It goes to their head. Yes, I don't want to see any soldier beating up civilians because you are in a uniform that is paid for by that person you are beating up. They disgust me when I see them. God help them one day that I don't encounter them. Yes, I will pull hell down for real. And that's why these soldiers, the police, the security agencies, operatives in Nigeria are trained like animals. So when they go into the civilian population, they come without animosity to disrespect the people. Yes, I am not holding brief for Wike, but I like what that young man, how he responded to Wike, even if he's on the wrong side, defending a criminal who is acquiring Nigerian land, yes, illegally, and thinks that is above the law, and nobody can talk to him. Yes, that Wike showed his beastly humor, how beastly he can be. As always, the bullies, Wike. But we're going to play Magadog, as a response. Just after this. Paying your bill on time every month can help you raise your credit score. Establish credit with the Chase Freedom Rise credit card. Learn more at chase.com/rise. All right, Magadog, come on. All right, enjoy this. Yes. Yes. Nigerian elites. They are crazy. They are so crazy. They think they are gods. They think they are gods. Nobody can tell them anything. They will breathe down on everybody and expect them to be saying yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. They have no right, they have no respect for the rights of fellow citizens. They don't understand that the positions that they occupy is transient. Yes, or are transient. That they will not occupy those positions forever. There has been ministers of Federal Capital Territory. There has been many naval chiefs. There have been many air chiefs. There has been many chief of defense staff. There have been so many chief of army staff. Yes, do your best in your time and get away and pave a way for the next person. Where's General Christopher Musa today? 4 weeks ago, he was running his mouth, making political statements that the rogue president is not even making. But he did not know that there was a plan to remove him. Yes, when he was removed, he didn't know what happened. Yeah, that's what it is. So when you are in a position of authority, respect the people. Respect the people. So that when you pull out, you have a constituency to go to. Yes. So this is what it's a lesson for all of us. Those who are in position of leadership and those aspiring to lead. Yes. Yes. Magadog. Wike is. Yes. So when you train a dog, that dog can turn around and bite you. Yeah. Peter McIntosh. Yes. Iconic Peter McIntosh. Yes. Yes, appropriate response for to foolishness by Nigerian political or Nigerian elites in general who think they are gods when they are in any particular position. Yes, your father does not own Nigeria. Nigeria is our country. So you people of Nigeria now listening, know that outside your basic human rights, you have rights as citizens of Nigeria. Nobody has a right to bully you. Nobody has a right to treat you like a kid. In your country, this what the soldier did is what I expect every young Nigerian to start doing to these criminals holding them hostage. They are stealing your future. They are obstructing you. They are robbing you. Can you imagine Wike stole so much money, brought them to the United States to buy a mansion for his family here? His children are not better than yours. They are not smarter than yours. Yes. All right. That was Sorry for the Magadog by Peter Tosh. So now we're going to go ahead and read Dr. SKC Ogbonia's article talking about what is taking place in Nigeria now. Stay tuned. Though. Come on. Yes. When you train a bad dog, the bad dog can turn around and bite you. Let's bite them. Let's bite them. Yes. Donald Trump, thank you. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you. Thank you. Your words, only a few sentences, is turning Nigeria upside down, turning the oppressors of Nigeria upside down. All of a sudden, the Nigerian army is going into the forest to bring out terrorists. Ah, la, la, la. Now, nobody should believe them. It's a lie. They are all stage managed. So if you love what you are doing, please join us, subscribe to our channel, share this broadcast, share our channel, comment so that YouTube will continually recommend us. Please, please do us a favor. Do Africa a favor. Do Nigeria a favor right now. Nigeria need the help of the whole world because the people of Nigeria have become so weakened. They can't even rise up. They can't stand up for themselves. Yes, they can't stand up for them. That's how weak the people of Nigeria are right now. They are so weak right now. Yeah, they are so hungry. They starve them to death. What the average Nigerian is thinking about right now, he's not even thinking about his liberation. He's not thinking about his freedom. He's thinking about his stomach, food, food, food. That is what is on the mind of every Nigerian right now because they have used poverty to crush them, broken their spine. Yes, broken their resistance capacity. They can't rise up. They can't even unite. They can't lift a finger. So an outside force is required to change, to get rid of the idiots holding Nigeria hostage on gunpoints. Yes, using terrorists, using bandits, using a political strategy to keep the people hungry. So now the people turn around, see them as heroes for the food that they will give to them, while abandoning the cause of the liberation of their country. Yes, now we're going to go back and read this article. Yes, the Trump ultimatum. Why the guilty are afraid by SKC Ogbonia, Houston, Texas, United States of America, November 11, 2025. It is a widely held truth that Christian genocide is a part of the widespread insecurity that has crippled Nigeria for over a decade. An ample number of prominent Nigerians, including powerful politicians, such as the most recent presidents, Muhammadu Buhari, I don't know about Buhari, and Bola Tinubu, are on record to have admitted the carnage at various times. This fact also lays bare on the flaws of both the Nigerian and American intelligence communities. Moreover, besides the foreign headsmen Sorry about that disruption. I don't know what happened, but we are back. They can't stop us. All right. So, yes, I'm going to have to start all over again. All right. The Trump ultimatum. Why the guilty are afraid, by Dr. SKC Ogbonia, Houston, Texas, United States of America, November 11, 2025. It is a widely held truth that the Christian genocide is a part of the widespread insecurity that has crippled Nigeria for over a decade. An ample number of prominent Nigerians, including powerful politicians, such as the most recent president, excuse me, Muhammadu Buhari and Bola Tinubu, are on record to have admitted the carnage. Yes, at various times. This fact also lays bare on the flaws of both the Nigerian and the American intelligence communities. Moreover, beside the foreign herdsmen terrorists, Boko Haram itself an extremist religious group, remains very notorious for its devilish vow against Christians. Therefore, it belies belief that the Tinubu regime and the elites are suddenly gone ho in denial. They have continued to deploy an embarrassing cascade of propaganda to oppose an ultimatum by the US President Donald J. Trump to deal with the problem squarely. But such a pattern of elite propaganda is not new, and there is a dubious ring to it. A few years after Muhammadu Buhari assumed the presidency, terrorist attacks in Nigeria had reached an alarming crescendo. Sadly, the president appeared to be doing little or nothing to stem the tide. The failure provoked many Nigerians to wonder why a nation of over 200 million people could not decimate visible terrorists with ease in an era of sophisticated technology. They wondered about the tens of billions of dollars claimed to have been committed without meaningful results. They continue to witness where the terrorists were openly brandishing their AK-47 and other weapons in broad daylight, while the Nigerian armed forces looked the other way. The citizens were perplexed as to why the federal government could not smash the terrorists with the same zeal they attack and jail civil rights activists. Nigeria. All right, more. The some optics prompted an intense public outcry, rebuking the state for complicity. Even Reno Omokri, an ally of President Tinubu, rogue President Tinubu, labeled the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, as Antichrist at the time. Yet, like the current controversy on Christian genocide, the Buhari regime forcefully pushed back and refuted any allegation of complicity. His team also viewed any critic on the matter as an enemy of the state. But then came a voice they could neither ignore nor smear. Theophilus T.Y. Danjuma has an influence that spans several critical junctures in the nation's religious military, and political history. He rarely speaks, but when he does, Nigeria listens. Danjuma rose and finally spoke. The former army chief, former defense minister, and a colleague of President Buhari not only decried the wave of insecurity, he also lamented that the Nigerian armed forces were indeed colluding with terrorists. He then urged the citizens to arm and defend themselves. That was in 2018 under Buhari, a call he repeated in April 2025 under rogue President Mohammed Ahmed Bola Tinubu. But the most damning bombshell came from a garrulous witness to history. The deadline is this very November 2025. A former chairman of the ruling APC, Adams Oshiomhole, is now a serving senator under the same party. He's not only a confidant of rogue President Bola Tinubu, the former Edo State governor is also the chairman, Senate Committee on Interior, a ministry that is responsible for the nation's internal security, among other sensitive functions. Oshiomhole relied on classified intel or intelligence to inject a new perspective of how Nigerian leaders are culpable. He went down the memory lane as far back as the Buhari tenure to narrate how powerful people in the society have been weaponizing insecurity in the country to wreak billions of dollars. In one fell swoop, Senator Oshiomhole accused China as part of the illegal mining ring taking place in Nigeria and how the Nigerian armed forces do nothing while the Asian nation arms terrorist groups to protect their illegal venture. He expressed shock that the same China is now opposing President Trump for standing up against the killings in Nigeria. War in Babylon, war in Babylon, war in Babylon. Mr. Oshiomhole went further to caution that only the truth will set Nigeria free, and then admonish the Tinubu regime for failing in its responsibility. In his words, the federal government is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. This strong indictment of Tinubu for inaction or indifference further gives credence to an allegation by Hajia Najatu Mohammed. I don't trust that woman. A renowned activist. No, he's not. She's not. And a former commissioner at the Police Service Commission. She also served as the director of Civil Society Liaison in the APC for the Presidential Campaign Council of Bola Tinubu before resigning in protest. In a widely circulated video, Mrs. Mohammed claimed that Tinubu confided in her that any serious blueprint on security in Nigeria is to step on the big toes. Right. Besides the cabal in illegal mining, these big shoes also belongs to government officials and their cronies who loot the funds budgeted for fighting insecurity. For the period 2023, 2024, and 2025 alone, Nigeria committed over 13 trillion naira, about 9 billion US dollars, to that sector. It is not a new story that a greater chunk of this security money only goes to fatten the big toes. The seeming consensus is the major reason the Nigerian nation can no longer protect the lives and property of her citizens. It's because powerful people are complicit in the menace of insecurity in the country. This statement is instructive and forms the intellectual basis for this essay. Therefore, the stout opposition to American intervention by the corrupt cabal within and outside the Tinubu regime is expected. The guilty are afraid. They are merely afraid of being held to account. They know this is not business as usual. Trump does not play, especially where a portion of the money being diverted is the financial assistance from the United States. The most echoing excuse so far for opposing any American intervention borders on sovereignty. Where is the sovereignty? Where is the sovereignty? We are looking for it. I don't know. I've never seen Nigerian sovereignty. What are they talking about, sovereignty? This school of thought argues that the country has the independent authority to govern itself ah, without foreign interference. But that is sheer hypocrisy. The Nigerian elites are quickly forget that sovereignty and patriotism go hand in hand. They want to forget that patriotism is the natural emotional response to the existence and protection of the sovereign state. The gospel truth is that these politicians and their cronies are profoundly unpatriotic, yes, corrupt and morally bankrupt, and have already destroyed the country. These are the same people who have for long killed and abandoned the critical local amenities and programs that suggest the extent of the nation's existence or ability to govern itself. They have abandoned the local schools. They have abandoned the local hospitals. They prefer to live, vacation, and bank in foreign lands. Even worse, they prefer foreign currency to Nigerian legal tender. The, the objective fact is that these Nigerian elites have since made the country ungovernable, its sovereignty questionable, and themselves unaccountable. Another narrative is that Trump has ulterior motives in Nigeria, which prioritize economic interests over genuine security concerns. But that is another hypocrisy. To begin with, the core proceeds of the Nigerian natural resources already reside in foreign banks, thanks to the big toes. So, what other forms of exploitation can be worse than the current situation, where Nigerian masses are trooping out, willing to embrace the harsh conditions in immigration jails in foreign lands as more hopeful than the situation in our native land? Finally, there is this subterfuge that American intervention may leave the country at a war-torn zone like Iraq or Afghanistan. This is clearly another scare tactic. A full-scale war becomes necessary where the host country resists the desired change. All right. The saving solution for Tinubu is to muster the courage to step on the big toes and fully embrace the American military intervention towards the desired change. Target and smash the critical areas where Boko Haram or foreign herdsmen terrorize Christian communities. Terrorize, we said terrorize Nigerians. Therefore, thereafter, negotiate with the US regarding rooting out the bandits colluding with the perpetrators of illegal mining. SKC Ogbonia, a former APC presidential aspirant, writes from Houston, Texas, United States of America. You cannot resist this. SKC Ogbonia has contributed a lot of article towards waking the people of Nigeria up. But I don't know if Nigerians read anymore. They are so poor to afford anything. Yes, that is the sad situation. Now, what do we have to say about this? We are happy that one of them has escaped. Yes, I don't know. Maybe somebody gave him a tip off. That is Gumi. Yes, he has run away from the country. We hear he is now hiding in Turkey. Yes, he should have waited. Why did he run? He proved that he's a he's a coward. All right, Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows all the people holding Nigeria hostage. They helped him to power. They brought him to power. He did not win an election. And the people doing this to Nigeria are a few obnoxious elites from a tiny ethnic group in Nigeria called the Fulani group, Fulani race. Now let's get one thing clear. I do not hate the Fulani race because that's what a lot of them will play on. But I am disgusted by what elements from the Fulani race has turned Nigeria into since independence. This thing did not start today. It's a carryover from a warped ideology that led Osman Danfodio in 1804 to invade Hausa land, drove all the Hausa people away, seized their thrones, installed his children and his followers as kings, with their headquarters in Sokoto that they call Sokoto Caliphate. To me, it's an imaginary, expansive land. They have a mission to occupy the whole of West Africa. So they are on a generational mission. Yes, to seize Nigeria by all means necessary. When he invaded the Hausa land, he installed his children from Sokoto, Kano, Katsina, Daura, Rano, down to um, Ilorin. Yes, Ilorin, a traditional Yoruba land. Yes, and they use the same ideology, the same methodology, the same style that they are using today. They raised army. At the time, they came in horsebacks. Today, now, they are using motorbikes to attack. They will go from one village to the other, waiting for the villagers to go to sleep. And they will strike at night. And everywhere they take, they establish their presence there. The people are displaced, and they never return to their homesteads. So that is one village gone. And they have been doing it incrementally. They are destroying locals, Christians and Muslims, especially Muslims who do not share in their bloody ideology. They have targeted the Hausa population, the majority population in the north of Nigeria, and systematically destroyed them, subjugated them. They have been subjugated for 221 years. They, they ensure that they are denied access to opportunities, including access to education, access to healthcare, access to anything. The best they can do for the houses, the best they can do to be barbers, street barbers with crude instruments, tea makers that they call meshai, frying eggs in the evening, fetching water that they call merua. Yes, and this is the ethnic group that has the population in the north of Nigeria. As of the last census, it was estimated that the population of the Hausas were about between 63 and 65 million people. But what is the population of the Fulanis in Nigeria? Less than 10 million. And out of that, less than 10 million, a few elites that run the feudalistic oligarchy in the north of Nigeria, run them amok. They have a criminal rogue, a warped religious extremist called Saad Abubakar sitting there as the Sultan of Sokoto with a massive majority Hausa population. He's not a traditional ruler. But in Nigeria, they recognize him against the rules, against the norm, as a traditional ruler. He is not. If he's a traditional ruler, whose cultural or customary heritage is he protecting? Is it for the Hausas or for the Fulanis? Yes. So it is apartheid in Nigeria. Apartheid in Nigeria. That the people of Nigeria have accepted for a very long time. The elites from other parts of Nigeria, citizens from other parts of Nigeria, have accepted to be second-class citizens, to invaders whose origin have nothing to do with the environment that they now forcefully control. They are not Nigerians. They are not West Africans. They are not even Africans. They are invaders. They are Arabs. Why should Arabs take over our land? Why should Arabs take over Nigeria? They have taken over Mauritania and renamed Mauritania Republic, Islamic Republic of Mauritania. Mauritania, an aboriginal African state. They have driven all the black people from Mauritania. They are coming down. They are coming down. And they are now in Sudan. It's the same people in Sudan. They are also in Burkina Faso. They are the people creating the confusion in Burkina Faso. They are in Mali. They are responsible for the crisis in Mali. They are in Niger. And they are responsible. They are in Chad. And they found their ways in Nigeria. Through Nigeria's porous borders. You find them in Cameroon too. And you want to be shocked why Cameroonians said, one of the reasons Cameroonians said that they voted for Paul Biya. They said they did not want to go through the same thing Nigeria is going through in the hands of Fulanis. Because the closest rival to Paul Biya, who has served as president of Cameroon since over 40 years when I left high school in 1982. The fear of what is happening in Nigeria and its neighbors is one of the reasons Cameroonians are advancing for keeping a 94-year-old man in power as their president. So this is how these people are. They are known. They come into a place, they want to occupy it and take it over violently. Nigerians, you sleeping? They come into any political party. They seize it, even with their minority, because the rest of Nigeria is corrupt people. So when they give them money, they have their way. Otherwise, Muhammadu Buhari would not be president of Nigeria, taking cognizance of the attitude of the Fulani elites. Yes, if Nigerians can see, can think. So I hope if they survive this, they will learn lessons. No, Nigerians should not allow Fulani elites any access to the political leadership of their country. They are destroyers. For all the period they have had access to power, they destroy the country because they want to create their Fulani nation out of Nigeria. That is why they are running the country aground, weakening all of its institutions so that their invasion will be easy. And they have done a great job at that. Who is stopping them? Nobody. Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you, Donald Trump. But you must follow through with your words. Don't listen. Do not listen. Do not listen to any and everything Bola Ahmed Tinubu is telling you. He's lying. The armed forces of Nigeria is an armed forces that works with terrorists and bandits. They are not the armed forces of Nigeria and the Nigerian people. They are not out to defend the Nigerian warped, messed up territorial integrity. They are not out there to defend Nigeria's sovereignty. We have lost the sovereignty of Nigeria. Nigeria does not have any sovereignty. So any person telling you about the sovereignty of Nigeria is a joke. Nigeria does not have any sovereignty. Sovereignty of Nigeria is gone. Gone. Tinubu does not have the courage to stand up to these monsters that brought him to power. He lacks the moral platform to stand on. After working with the rogues to undermine Nigeria, they compromised the INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, through one of them, who was the chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu. He brazenly, and treasonously violated the Constitution of Nigeria. Yes, for the amount of money he was paid. Buhari's administration was riddled by all terrorists. Are you talking about Issa Pantami? Yes, that is known in intelligence circles as a one dealing with the terrorist networks. Yes. Are you talking about Abubakar Malami, Buhari's Attorney General, who shielded Boko Haram terrorists from prosecution and actually wrote the blueprint for their absorption into the Nigerian armed forces? Nigeria does not have an army. Any person relying on the army of Nigeria to give Nigeria any assistance, please, you are giving your assistance to Boko Haram. You are giving your assistance to Fulani bandits. You are arming them against the people of Nigeria. Everything America gave to them in the past, all the weapons that America gave to Nigeria in defense, in the fight against insurgency, ended up in the hands of Boko Haram. Now, let me shock you. They have started using drones to now attack. They attacked a convoy of the Nigerian military because they wanted to seize one of their barracks. They used a drone attack. It killed some soldiers and a lot of civilians. This is how sophisticated that they have become. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has no spine. He's a coward. He cannot and he will not do anything. Donald Trump, do not rely on him as a strategic partner in any fight against insurgency, unless you are joking or misleading the people of Nigeria. So if you want to act, there are Nigerians, there are diehard Nigerian patriots who will want to work with you, to guide you, and to give you access, information about those who are masterminding terrorism, perhaps that the United States intelligence of all sources do not know yet. But I know one, Saad Abubakar is one of them. But I know too that he features prominently in the CIA's intelligence report. Yes, I know Nasiru El Rufai. He was one of those who recruited Fulani militias from across Africa. Buhari addressed them. He addressed them. Saad Abubakar, the fake Sultan of Sokoto, addressed them, highlighting the importance of establishing a Fulani nation inside Nigeria. They don't love Nigeria. They hate Nigeria. They are only Nigerians for benefits. When you hear not, when you hear northern leaders, it is not about the north. It is about the Fulanis. Yes, when they talk about the north, they are not talking about the Barons. They are not talking about the Igedes. They are not talking about the Angas. They are not talking about the Jukuns. They are not talking about the Idomas. They are not talking about anybody. They are not talking about the Hausas. It is about the Fulanis. They hide behind the north to rob Nigeria. Yes, destroy Nigeria. Their mission is to destroy Nigeria. So President Donald Trump, do not be fooled. Do not be deceived. Do not allow anything change the decision you have made to help the ordinary Nigerians who went on night vigils for you when you were coming back running as presidential candidate in an election that they did not have the ballot to cast. But they cast their ballot for you with their emotions. They even castigated some of us in the United States who did not think that you should be the president of the US. I was one of such because of the rhetoric we were pushing. That was one of the reasons I did not vote for you. But the elections are over now. I am a minority among the majority of Nigerians and Africans who saw you as their messiah because of the persecution that they've been going through in the hands of a Fulani elite and their Fulani militia. All over Africa, Africa stood gap. Africa stood in prayers for you, President Donald Trump. The worst you can do is to turn your back on them, especially at a moment like this. You must rise to the occasion. You must rise to the occasion without expecting anything in return. They gave you so much. They gave you so much. They loved you so much. They don't live in the United States. But what the connection they had with you, what prompted them to see you from that messianic standpoint must inspire you to go all the way, for Africa and for the Nigerian people. Be right, do right, like none has done. Be right. It was during the presidency of a son of an African that Libya was destroyed. And that's one of the concerns that they have. They are scared that Nigeria should not be turned into another Libya. But I know too that you condemned what happened in Libya. You stated clearly and unequivocally that if you were president, what happened in Libya would never have happened. So can you assure us, can you assure the people of Africa, can you assure Nigerians that your intervention will not lead Nigeria into the same pathway that Libya, Iraq, and other places, Afghanistan, had gone? Are you going to come in, destabilize the country, and leave? Those are the questions that they have. Those are the concerns that they have. It is you and the Almighty God. And you were the one who made this decision. The government of Nigeria did not go lobbying you like others will do. Yes, if you are inspired to do this for the people of Africa, save Nigeria, and you have saved Africa. Yes, these people, these monsters destroying Nigeria, are aided and abetted by China. You heard in this article that I just read what China did, what China is doing in Nigeria. I don't want China. I didn't want them. The Chinese have placed our continent in a very dangerous debt overhang. But we have a terrible history with the West. The history of slavery, the history of colonialism, the history of imperialism, the history of apartheid, and the history now of globalization. That is scary. That is why a lot of people are asking questions. On the other side, the Arabs enslaved us for 700 years. 7 solid 100 years of Arab slavery, during which all male slaves from Africa were castrated. We are talking about trillions of testicles of the African people. So Donald Trump, will you be that Daniel come to judgment for Africa? That is a question you must address before you set your foot, before you send your troops, before you move. We will be all for you if you do right. We'll be all for you as a strategic partners. There's nothing wrong with partnering with the United States. We are not enemies. You are not our enemies. Do right. Respect us as human beings. Be the different person from what it is before. Bring about a new U.S. African policy that will respect Africa as a partner and not as a vassal and not as a conquered people. That is what we are asking. Are you going to do that? Will you have the courage to do that? Will you summon the spirituality to do that? Since you are calling the name of God, that is what is inspiring you to come and intervene on behalf of Nigerians and by extension the whole of Africa. Can you do that? If you can do that, you will see the kind of support. I am telling you today, as it stands, ordinary Nigerian, every ordinary Nigerian on the street, including the Hausas who are Muslims. They were Muslims before the Fulanis came and they forced them to adopt a violent type of Islam. But today they are speaking a different language. They are looking for ways to free themselves from the chains of the Fulani subjugation. And I'm at the forefront of driving it. You will have our support. You have the support of the Hausa people. You have the support of the ordinary people. You even have the support of marginalized Fulanis who are not from the extreme brand, yes, of Fulanis, that they deny access to opportunities because they refuse to join the mainstream. Yes, Nigerians are tired. Nigerians are tired. Nigerians are disorganized. They don't have a country anymore. Forget about what they say about territorial integrity. It doesn't exist. Nigeria is so porous, so weak. Even a little armed forces from another small country can overrun Nigeria and defeat its army. Forget about the nonsense that they tell you about sovereignty. Where is the Nigerian sovereignty? It doesn't exist. I've not seen anyone. Not in recent time. No. Maybe a long time ago, maybe there was an article, an iota of it. But right now, no. Nigeria has no sovereignty. Nigeria has no territorial integrity. Where is it? I'm looking for it. I'm looking everywhere. It doesn't exist. So President Donald Trump, the African people look up to you. Did you hear me call African Union? No, I will never call them. Did you hear me call ECOWAS? Heck no, I will not call them. But because they are puppets of imperial European exploiters. So rise up for the people of Nigeria, President Trump, if you love us so much. We know that one of your daughters is married to a Lebanese born in Nigeria. So if that is enough reason for you to intervene on behalf of Nigerians, but with no string attached, we will be more than happy to do that. God bless Nigeria. God release Nigeria. God raise men of courage who can stand up and do what they must do. Tell these people, these criminals, that we own Nigerians and not you, and we are ready to run you out of our country. Yes, and that is exactly what we are going to do. If you are a Nigerian today, you are one of those cowards being afraid, and one of those are still advancing a cause for criminals, holding you hostage at all levels. You posting all those nonsense in support of rogues, going to the National Assembly where they go there to share money and don't do anything for the people. Been warned, been warned of an Armageddon that will envelop Nigeria if action is not taken. This is not a time to play politics. This is not a time to be a Muslim. This is not a time to be a Christian. It's the time to be a Nigerian. It's time to be a humanist. It's time to be a human being. Let's rise, Nigerians. God bless you all. Thank you very much, all these great people who joined us and to do this. Thank you, Monday. Thank you very much. Yes, 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 yes. But I appreciate all of you who joined us. Yes, it takes only courageous men and women to stand where I am standing. It's risky. I receive death threats every day, but that's not going to stop me. I'm not afraid of anything. Yes, all I want is freedom for my people, and I'm going to go all the way, yes, to make it happen. Thank you, thank you. Support us by sharing our messages. Support us by subscribing to our channel. Support us by sending us super thanks. Donate whatever you can. We put all of them into good use to expand this message that we have for the people of Nigeria, Africa, and by extension, the people of the world. You know, if Nigeria, as strategic as it is globally, goes down, the world will feel the impact. Yeah, very negative impact. So let us prevent it. It's teaching time, saves nine. Bye for now. I love you guys.